Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Mariners franchise here on MLB The Show 23. And today we're going to go through the World Series to see who is your world champions of the Major League Baseball season. Now, unfortunately, last episode we figured out the Mariners will not be a part of it. We lost in 5 games in the ALCS to the Toronto Blue Jays, and well, it's going to end up being Toronto Blue Jays versus the San Diego Padres from the NLCS. Both these two teams, very different paths to this point. The Blue Jays were the number 1 seed in the American League. They swept the Yankees in the ALDS, and they beat us in the ALCS before making it to the World Series. They are 2-0 in their past 2 World Series. Now, they haven't been to a World Series in 30 years when they won the 1993 World Series, but they also won the 92 the year before that, so they're looking to go 3-0. On the flip side, you got the Padres, who were the 6th seed coming into this, so the last seed in the National League, but they went on a nice little run. They beat the Cubs in the wild card in 3 games, and they swept the 2-seeded Mets in the NLDS before beating the Dodgers in 6 in the NLCS to make it to this point. As far as they go, they have been to 2 World Series and they've lost both. The most recent being in 1998 when they got swept by the New York Yankees when Bruce Bochy was their manager. So the way this goes, we're going to go through each game separately, and all the elimination games we will watch. So we'll sim the first few, and the Blue Jays start off by winning here 3-2 to begin it, as they get a little walk-off RBI from Dalton Varsho. Then they also win Game 2 at home 8-5 thanks to a 7-run 6th inning where none of those runs came by way of the homer, which is very, very interesting. So they take a 2-0 lead going into San Diego for 3, and the Padres bounce back and win Game 3 as they win it 8-4 as they had a pair of 4-run innings as Mitch Garver led the way with a triple and 2 RBIs. Game 4, they tied up 6-5 in 10 innings. This is in extras, another walk-off winner for the home squad, as this time it looks like it was Mitch Garver who gets the walk-off home run, potentially. So we're tied up going into Game 5, and the Blue Jays are the first team to win one on the road. They win 4-3 thanks to a 3-run 8th inning led by Danny Jansen with a 3-run homer, which means we are now at elimination game, so we will watch Game 6, and if there is a potential Game 7, that one as well. So welcome to the 119th edition of the World Series. Hope you guys are ready for this one. If you are, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content as we figure out who will be walking away with that trophy. Will it be the Toronto Blue Jays of the American League, or will it be the San Diego Padres of the National League? A stacked house here at the Rogers Center trying to watch their hometown Blue Jays end it in Canada. Here are your lineups for both squads. We're very familiar with the Blue Jays lineup. The Padres, they're anchored by, of course, Juan Soto and Manny Machado. Machado in a sensational season, a runner-up for the NL MVP award. He ended up winning a Silver Slugger instead, and Soto also won himself a Silver Slugger. Kevin Gausman gets the bid on the mound today for Toronto, and in the first inning, he's able to go through 4 batters as he gets Machado to pop up to left, and it's a scoreless top half. Padres, they'll be sending out the lefty Blake Snell, making his 5th postseason appearance. It hasn't been all that good for him. A 4.76 ERA, but San Diego showing a lot of faith for their lefty. And he begins the game by going down 1-2-3 as well, as he gets glad to fly out to right, and both teams scoreless through 1. Top of the second, here's Jake Cronenworth leading off for San Diego, and he's going to begin the inning with a single into left field. That one gets down out there in front of Dalton Varsho. Now 1 away for Mitch Garver, who's had himself a very good World Series, and he draws a full count walk, pitch close on the border, but he gets the free pass. That brings up David Dahl up next, who grounds this one over to short, and that should end the inning, but Bo Bichette was some trouble with it. That's a massive E6. Instead of the inning being over, his base is loaded and still 1 out. And Ha-Seong Kim will step up, hitting .235 this postseason. He gets a full count as well, and he pops this one straight up over to Matt Chapman at third base. A big out by Kevin Gausman, as now the Padres need a base hit, and it's Xander Bogaerts. Full count pitch, and he apparently goes around. That would have been ball 4. That would have been the first run. But instead, he couldn't check his swing, and the Blue Jays dodge a major bullet, specifically Bo Bichette. Bottom 3, their offense at the plate is with 1 out. Cedric Mullins will pop up into center as Blake Snell has had a perfect start to the game. And then with a 1-1 to Whit Merrifield, he grounds out to second. It's a perfect 3 innings of work for Snell. Tap 4, Gausman on the mound. He walks Garver with 2 outs, and his pitch count is already well up in the 80s. So he's on first for David Dahl. 1-2 pitch to him, and he chops this one past the glove of Chapman over there at third. And San Diego, again, trying to maneuver a little 2-out rally. Ha-Seong Kim back at the plate, but he strikes out swinging, and Gausman gets to the 4th, but his pitch count well up into the 90s already. Bottom 4, Santiago Espinal at the plate for Toronto. With 1 away, he chops this one over to Bogarts, who makes an error. So the Padres commit an E6 of their own, as that one was in the dirt. And Espinal will stay at first for Vladdy Guerrero Jr., who's had a great postseason, hitting .364. He finally has a postseason homer. And with a 3-1 pitch, he hits this one into right field for a base hit, and Toronto trying to take advantage. Runners on the corners, 1 away, and you're coming up to your 4-hitter in George Springer. Full count pitch, he draws a walk. So now bases loaded for Toronto, and it's Alejandro Kirk getting the start against the lefty pitcher. 1 away, full count. He apparently goes around. That's inside. I think it was a strike anyway. So a big strikeout by Snell, and then he gets Matt Chapman, the Silver Slugger third baseman, to pop it up into right, and this time it's Santiago who dodges a big bullet off of the air. So scoreless through 4. Juan Soto steps into the plate in the 5th, and we're scoreless no more. Soto jacks one to deep right field, and it's way out of here. Juan Soto with his 4th home run of the postseason finally draws first blood, as it's the Friars who get the first run of the ball game, as manager Melvin claps on, and San Diego tries to stay alive in the series to take a 1-0 lead. That'll do it for Gausman. He goes 4 2/3. They'll bring in the righty Nate Pearson in a long relief, who has not had a good postseason, had a very good rough outing in his first appearance, but he gets Manny Machado 2 strikeout to end at the top of the 5th. Bottom 5 now, Blue Jays looking to answer. Here's Cedric Mullins at the plate, who got plunked 4 times in the ALCS, just a fun fact. He strikes out on the fastball. Snell continuing to wheel and deal. And then Merrifield, though, singles up the middle. So it keeps the 5th inning alive and turns it to the top of the lineup. Bo Bichette 0 for 2 on the day. He hits this one well into the left center gap, and it's going to get down for a base hit. And now Toronto has runners on the corners for Santiago Espinal. 1-1 pitch from Snell. Chopper up the middle. Snell gloves it. Throw on over to first. And the Blue Jays still have 0 through 5. Go to the top of the 6th. Drake Cronenworth leads off. He draws a walk, so Pearson will walk the first batter. But he gets the next 2 outs and brings up David Dahl and gets him to swing and miss on the circle change. So nice settling down there by Pearson to not allow any damage to happen. Bottom 6, George Springer steps to the plate with 1 away. The Blue Jays offense has to wake up at some point, you think. 1-2 pitch to the right fielder, and he's going to slap this one to left, but it's right on a line and caught. So now 2 down now for Alejandro Kirk, who has a full count pitch, and he gets a nice slider to hit, and it's at the deep right field, but is caught at the track. Nice pop there, but it's caught, and we'll go to the top of the 7th. 2 away, and here comes Jose Azucar, as Nate Pearson in long relief has been sensational. Chopper down the third base line. It's a tough play. Pearson has it, but no chance of throwing out Azucar, as that's a 2-out infield single. Right in time for the heart of the lineup. Juan Soto coming off of a home run in his last at bat. Pearson gives him nothing. You walk Soto, but the only problem is you got Manny Machado right behind him. With a runner in scoring position, 1-2 pitch to Machado. Chopper down to the third base line. Chapman goes the short way to second, and Toronto ends the inning. Drew Pomeranz will come in relief here in the 7th, so Snell goes 6 scoreless innings before being replaced by another lefty. He faces Matt Chapman to begin the inning, and Pomeranz gets ripped. This one deep to left field and gone, and Matt Chapman with 1 swing of the bat has tied this one up. I know Snell's pitch count was getting up there, but he's pitched sensational today. A very questionable move to pull him out of the game, and Melvin immediately pays the price for his decision. Toronto ties it up at 1 apiece. Next 2 batters go down, and Whit Merrifield will strike out looking, so Pomeranz does settle down, but we're back to square one. How about top 8? Here's a man who's been quiet today. Matt Carpenter has had a terrible World Series, despite winning Silver Slugger Award for the DH in the National League. He does get on base, though. He draws a walk, so he's on first base. Mitch Garver then steps up to the plate. He's had a great World Series, and he chops this one up the middle, though. Bichette charges. He's just going to get the sure out at first. So runner in scoring position, but now 2 down. David Dahl with a 1-1 pitch. Chopper to the left side of the infield. And how about Nate Pearson? He's come in and pitched 4 or 3 1/3 great innings. Steven Wilson's the next reliever out of the pen for the Padres. He's already made 11 postseason appearances. He's been their go-to guy this postseason run, but he begins the 8th by walking Bo Bichette. It brings up Espinal up next, and they're just going to try to lay the sacrifice down, and it's going to work. Bichette's going to move up to second, and he got a runner in scoring position with only 1 out for the heart of the lineup. Vladdy Jr. up first. He draws a walk. Close pitch, but doesn't get the call. But at least he forced an out at every base. Springer up next, gets Chopper right up the middle. What a backhand by Steven Wilson to turn 2. A great defensive play by the pitcher. Heads up play, gets it through the 8th. We'll go into the 9th, still tied up at 1 apiece, and Nate Pearson is still dealing. Strikes out Bogarts, his 5th K of the day. And then Jose Azucar up next, 1-2 pitch. He also strikes out, another foul tip in the glove. That's 6 Ks by Pearson in relief. The Padres will turn over to Jose Castillo in the left, the 9th. They've had some success with lefties, and they get some more success in the 9th. 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Jays, which means this World Series game is going to extras. Pearson will finally be pulled from the game. Anthony Bass will be tasked with the 10th inning, as he has not had a good World Series. 3 earned runs in 3 innings pitched. He's going to get the heart of the lineup, too, and he does a good job at beginning by getting Juan Soto to chop out. Manny Machado up next also chops it over to second, and Espinal gets the first 2 outs. Nice pitching by Bass. Brings up Jake Cronenworth, and he lifts a 1-1 fastball into right field where it's caught, and Bass does a great job at getting through the heart of the lineup. So now the Blue Jays every inning have a chance to walk it off, and this will help. Mullins will single up to middle to begin the 10th, and the winning run is officially on base. That'll bring up the DH, Whit Merrifield, 1 for 3 on the day. They're going to try to sacrifice him over again, but this time the Padres are ready for it, and they get the lead runner at second. Nice play. So basically nothing happens. Bichette up next, top of the lineup. He hits a nice 2-2 fastball into right field, and this one gets down. Merrifield's going to get aggressive. He's going to move over to third, and the winning run of the World Series is just 90 feet away. It's Santiago Espinal, 1-2 pitch. He gets a fastball lifted deep into left field. Soto will make the grab, but Merrifield will tag, and there's nothing the Padres can do. The Blue Jays have won the 2023 World Series. Espinal with a sac fly scores the winning run, and Toronto will celebrate off of a 2-1 victory here in Game 6 in front of their hometown fans. For the first time in 30 years, a World Series has been brought to Canada as they get to celebrate what a season it was for the Toronto Blue Jays. They were by far the best team in the American League. They proved it. They won 103 games. They beat us in 5 in the ALCS. I mean, this was a team that was well built to win the World Series, and they get it done, and they get to celebrate. An exciting Game 6, I'd have to say. Back and forth, good pitching. Offense comes in clutch, but that's going to officially do it. The season is over, and the series is over. Yes, this was the next to last episode in the series, as I am officially going to end this series after 1 season. I just don't want to rush into a year 2 if I don't think I have enough time to finish it before MLB The Show 24 comes out, because when that game comes out, I want to hit the ground running. I want to have a deep MLB season or MLB series, and I feel like if I just continue this, I kind of hurt my MLB content in the long run. So the Mariners series is over. There'll be one more episode, a series recap where we kind of look back at the season, and then it's a little bit of a break from baseball until MLB The Show 24 comes out. So hope you guys have enjoyed this series. This has been my first series back since doing sports content, and I've enjoyed it. I don't want to get too much into closing thoughts because I'll save that for the next episode, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this series, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.